Alright guys, so we're back again with another section on the 1/72 FAZZ, and this is actually the waist section, which is probably going to be one of the easiest sections to prepare because there's minimal parts. But as you can see on here, we've had some breakage. Now I actually don't mind because we're going to end up replacing the broken part with metal, but I will not end up getting to that until we have the legs built so that I know exactly what's going to be the best diameter and everything. So let's get started with this. You have your main portion, and then you have your two front skirts. You've got this, which is a front skirt, these two pieces, this which is going to go there, and then this is going to be your back skirt. So to start off with, at least in my mind, I'm going to get this little sucker out of the way. So what we're going to do is just, let's get you guys a little closer, trim that off. Grab our little file, knock down a majority of that nub or pour mark. And then what we're going to do is just kind of feel around this section for any seam lines, if there are any. I don't think there really are. So this piece goes here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do my pilot hole. And one of the reasons I do pilot holes, it's not necessary if you know exactly where you're going to put it and everything. It's not necessary. I like doing it because it actually speeds up doing the bigger hole. Okay, so we're going to put this directly in the center, and there's actually already a little divot there, so that makes it a lot easier. And then in the center of here, doesn't have to be exact, but it doesn't have to be exactly in the center. Oh, it'd help if it was in frame. Sorry guys. Doesn't have to be exactly in center, but you don't want it like over here or anything, because it's going to sit, this portion is going to sit down into that divot. So there's that. Knock that little guy out of the way. Get those out. So there's that. And that one. Yeah, you guys should see my floor right here in front of the desk. About once a week. Well, it depends on how much resin I'm working on, but yeah, I have to go through there and clean that out quite frequently. So as I showed you guys before, I'm gonna lay out our magnet, mark them, now on this one, this is the easy peasy side. Let's make sure it's going to sit in there. It is, but it could be a little flusher. So before we go through this, let's file this down a little bit. think a little bit more, and we'll be golden. Just about perfect. And the only reason that I'm having to do this is because the hole's not deep enough inside. So one of the things you really want to be cautious with, guys, is if you're doing this, even if you have experience, you could still end up slipping and nicking yourself good doing something like that, which I didn't go deep, but you guys have to keep in mind when I'm doing this and not videotaping it. I'm usually doing this stuff over my lap, so I have a lot more control. Alright, so a little glue in there, squish that down, slide it off, there we go, wipe off the excess. By the way, when you get a kit done by me, you get free DNA with every kit. I guarantee it. Just in case you ever want to clone me or anything. This bad boy down in there. There's it. Test that. There we go. That's going to work well. So we'll set that to the side. Let's see, where's our next front section? So we have this. Which actually looks like it's pretty much centered, but I'm going to file this down a little bit. Now on this end is the pour mark, so I'm going to get as close as I can, just slowly nip it, and then we're going to do. Looking pretty good. Okay, so before we spot that in, and I'm probably going to throw a pin on there. I'm just not sure where yet. So I will figure that out a little bit later. Alright, so you have these two pieces which go in here. So nip that off. Nip that off. Now these have left and right marked on them. I'm not sure what the real difference is. But I do want to try and get this as flat as possible. And that's where having files comes in real handy, because they're stiff. So on this, we're just going to spot glue it. If it sits down in there far enough, which it does not appear to be. I know this is so much fun to watch, guys, but I figured I might as well see this through. I wish I had, like, I don't know, an English accent or something, because you guys like Too Old for Toys and some of the other like English and British modelers, like, I don't know what it is about it. I can just sit and listen to you guys for ramble on for freaking hours, and I actually have, like, just putting on and a rotation of your videos, and just, I don't know, there's just something soothing, I guess, when that whole accent on women is just I mean, what you got here, the closest you have in America is you have you know, as far as American girls, white girls, you have, I guess, the California whatever. You got your southern girls. You just got to make sure that their daddies don't come after you. And then not a whole lot. That. By the way, when I'm not keeping all silent, no radio or anything in the background, I'm usually listening to I don't know, on Pandora, something like Sun Lounger, or you know, something like that, just to kind of keep me mellow. Or I'm watching a movie, something like The Avengers. I've only seen that like 400 times, and I don't actually like watch it most of the time. It's just background noise. Alright, so on this back one, we're just cleaning this out. So yeah, I usually, I suggest for you guys just, put on some Pandora, some Metallica, just something like that, and just, have that playing in your own background, whatever that you like, while I get my grind on. Alright, so I am gonna pin this part. So we have this, and let me see if I can do this with my arm around the mic. And I do want to go fairly deep. And pull that off. So we're gonna snip that off. And then this one I do kind of want to line up. That one out. Do 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 do. There she be. Okay. So here is our brass rod. We're gonna take some glue in there. We're gonna jam her in there. If you're wondering what I'm doing off camera, no, I'm not touching myself as usual. I'm just using a towel that's sitting in my lap. Okay, so this might be a little loud. So yes, I do have a mini pair of bolt cutters, which I suggest going, I think I got these off of Amazon, but you can get them at like a hardware store. They're like $9. Yeah, get a pair. They'll save your life. No, seriously, like zombie apocalypse, you smack, a zombie, beat a zombie in the head with a freaking pair of mini bolt cutters, it will kill it eventually. Do 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 do. Make our hole a little deeper. By the way, yes, I'm this way at work too. All the women that I work with are like, half of them, well, all the white girls think I'm funny. All the others are like, you're stupid. Well, I'm not trying to make you laugh, 'cause you're dumb. Now I may put a magnet in here. I don't know yet. I know this will end up being glued in the long run, and I just realized I was like fucking around with that and not even on camera. So there's that. Now these I'll end up drilling out later after I figure out what hoses that I'm going to be running from the front to the back. But I am going to spot glue that real quick because I want to stay. I'm not going to be able to paint this for a while, so alright, so there's that. It's probably not straight. That's okay. We pop that on. And that one will actually kind of stay. So there's roughly what we're looking at. And then we have these front skirts. So let's trim them down. And like I said before, guys, let your tools work for you. Don't force it. That's one of the mistakes that I personally see a lot around is people use on plastic kits. God, they use everything from fingernail clippers to God knows what else to clip their kits. And if you're starting out and that's your first thing and your first Gundam kit or plastic kit, whatever it is, that's fine, because you're just you're kind of getting the feel for it. Like, do I really like this? Do I want to start in RC cars? Do I just want to save my money and blow it at Hooters every Wednesday on unlimited wings? Do I want to start a competitor to Girls Gone Wild? You really have to figure out what works for you. But if you're going to get into it and you want to be proficient and save yourself a hell of a lot of time and headache, spend the money on the tools. These nippers, they're the Tamiya Sharp Tip. They are about $30. Oh, I get them on Amazon. They're about $30 there, shipped. They can be more, they can be less, but they are pretty much the only ones I use. I did see someone posting on Facebook last night some pair that I think Hobby Link has that are double cut, like they are super thin. They looked good, but these are tried true. I go through about 3 pair a year. And I actually keep my old ones. I mean, I've given some away, but I keep them and I'll file them down and resharpen them if they get little nicks, dings, stuff like that. You can do that. But yeah, spend the money on the tools, and you'll be thankful in the end. All right. So here we have this, and then this goes. Now I haven't determined whether I'm going to pin the skirts in or not. I mean, change out the rods in the skirts. I haven't determined that yet, but for the most part, here is your waist section. And let's see. Come on over, big guy. Oh, you know what? Let me do this so that I can actually set that on here, because that would be awesome. All I'm doing is kind of wallowing this out a little bit. Now brass rods will be being used, and here's another thing too, guys. I know you'll hear me and like Matt Mrozek and a bunch of other people always talking about brass rods. Well, myself, I bought a buttload of 3/32 brass rods from a hardware store that was closing. So that's why I use them. Great alternative to that is the metal hangers. You just use your bolt cutters and cut them down as you need them. They're pretty much free. Alright, let's see if I can get this to line up. Hopefully, maybe. It's like being on a first date with a girl you don't know. There you go. Son of a bitch. Get all this crap away. And pan it up so you can see it, sort of. Okay, so there we have the waist section attached with the chest. And yeah, I know that's crooked on there. I kind of glued it that way. Alright guys, so there's that. And yes, I know it's kind of crooked on the thing, but it's not, because it's not fully, as you can see, it's wobbly on there. It's just barely sitting. If I fart too hard, it's gonna fall off. But there's your waist section. And next up, I think I'm going to give this sucker some legs. I think. Some of the biggest sections on this are the legs and the gun. Wait till we get to that. And the shoulder pieces. I was just like really surprised how big they were. Alright guys, so thanks for sticking with me on this. And I'm trying to get these all knocked out. I will be out Friday. You'll get some random vids from me from being in San Jose. But I will be out Friday through Monday, I believe. So I'm trying to build up some of these vids so I can upload every day while I'm out. Everyone have a great day, great night, and peace out.